Today I'm going to show you the best ChatGPT prompts that are ranking my site #1 on Google, increasing my traffic and making me money right now with SEO. And if you want to get access to all of these prompts, you can just copy and paste them whenever you want, along with the ChatGPT scripts, courses, tutorials, and check out my free course in the comments below. Anyway, let's get into it. So first of all, you can see this site is ranking really well. It's just a case study site for AI. You see the traffic and the keywords are just going up really nicely right now, along with some nice rankings here. So the first prompt I want to show you is this prompt right here. And basically what this does is it takes the Google review guidelines. So Google has outlined exactly how they want us to write articles, and then they've explained it on their site. I've taken those guidelines and then put them into a prompt like this. And then I've said to ChatGPT, summarize the following guidelines into the 5 most important criteria. And this is great because what you can do is basically train ChatGPT on how to write optimized, nicely ranking money pages using Google's review guidelines. You're feeding it the information it needs. This is a little trick I learned from Matt Diggerty's videos, and it works really nicely. So then what you can do as the next step is use this prompt, and you take your existing content from your website and then just grade it using a scale of 1 to 10 based on these top 5 criteria. So you can see from the guidelines, this is super long and boring to read, and most humans wouldn't be able to understand most of it. And then what you can do is condense it, train ChatGPT on how to use it, and grade your content and improve it. And that's the same for helpful content as well. So if you've got informational content that you're trying to monetize with ads and then rank with SEO, you can use the exact same formula, but you use Google's helpful guidelines rather than their review guidelines. So let me give you an example of that. And by the way, if you want to know how I just create a canned response like this and then it pops up with all the prompts, you can use textexpander.com. I explain how to use it in my free course. What you can do is summarize the most important criteria from Google's helpful guidelines. You paste those into ChatGPT like this. It breaks it down, takes all the boring stuff and makes it interesting. And then you're going to use that to grade your informational content on some nice criteria. So we're going to take some existing content. Let's take some content that's already ranking, for example, like this. And usually you can only feed it about 1,000 words, 2,000 words maximum at a time. So we'll copy that, we'll paste it in like this, and you're going to get a nice content evaluation score. And actually you can see this is grading quite highly overall, which explains why it's ranking so well. So you can see it's relevant, it's accurate, it's got a lot of clarity, a lot of depth to it, and an overall score as well. Now you can actually ask ChatGPT, how can I improve this content to make it rank higher? And ChatGPT will think about it a little bit and then give you some more tips on how to improve it. This is really powerful for objectively grading your content, because sometimes you look at your own content, you don't really know how to improve it. It's your own writing, and this is just an easy way to step away from being so close to your content and improving it, especially if you've got a writer working for you who's doing it for you. And here's the thing, you can just go through all your pages that are ranking, say 8th, 9th, 2nd page, and they're almost there, but you just need to add the finishing touches. And that's a lot quicker than writing a whole brand new article for SEO from scratch. So you can easily grade the content, quickly improve it, re-index it with Google Search Console, and all of a sudden your rankings are going up like crazy, just like this. You can easily repair any rankings you've lost, and it's just a really powerful way to learn exactly how to improve your content without using any expensive tools. Next up, it's time to start looking at some tables. So one of the things that works really well for me right now is just improving the quality and overall use of my content using AI. Because here's the thing, Google doesn't care whether your content is AI or not. What it cares about is whether it answers the user's problem and whether it's actually useful content for the audience who are reading it, right? So if you look at this example, this is an article that's ranking quite well for me right now. Previously, the human written content that we had on there was getting like no traffic at all. And then as soon as we re-optimized it with AI content and added some tables in there, all of a sudden the traffic's going off to the moon. And it was really quick, right? We got results within like 24, 48 hours, something like that. So it's extremely powerful. Now let me show you the page and explain how we actually create these tables. So here's the article. And if we scroll down, you can see all these tables down here. Now, the keyword that we're ranking for is bird symbols. And you can see we've created a table for each bird on the list, just to make it a bit more interesting and engaging for the user, but also splits up the text nicely, makes it more usable, makes the content more engaging. And let's be honest, if you were doing this yourself, manually, it would take forever. So that's why we use AI instead. And it just improves the depth and the quality of our content. Now, how do you actually create tables like this? Because this is super simple to create. Now, what you do is you would say, right, create a table about bird symbols, and you just take one of the birds on the list. You can do this for any topic, by the way. So let's say about the symbolism of eagles, and then you would explain what columns you want. So you might say, I want one column with the symbolism and one column with the actual meaning or the mythology. So you take that content, it's going to generate a nice little table that you can just copy and paste into your article. And it literally takes 2 seconds, but it improves the quality of your overall content. And then also, we can say, this is too long. I want to make my content shorter. So you can say, right, make the table shorter. And it will actually condense the information and create a shorter version of that table so it looks a bit more natural in the content. Because the last thing you want is like huge paragraphs of text in each of your table rows. So it's very easy to do. Next up, I want to show you how to get more word count out of ChatGPT. So quite often, if you take the outline for the article and you give it to ChatGPT, it's going to be very messy. Because if I paste in a long outline like that, and say, write me an article using this blog outline, then chances are after 500 or 1,000 words, it's going to cut off, and we'll see that in a second. So as you can see, the content has cut off right here, but you've also got a lot of headings you want to add in still, right? So what I normally do instead is I just take a few headings and then add a few more later on. So I would feed it in like this. I'd give it the blog outline, and just like the top 3 or 4 headings, it would generate the content, and you can see it's a lot more in depth this time. And then an extremely simple prompt that you can use once it's at the end of the article is just say, write about and format these headings, but don't change them, right? And then you insert the rest of your headings later. So you kind of space out how much outline you give to ChatGPT, and that means the content it produces is in way more depth, and it produces a higher word count, so that you can create 1,500 or 2,000 word articles rather than creating like a 500 word article, but it's covered your whole blog outline in one shot. Now, when you're actually ranking for a keyword, let's say like bird symbolism, the interesting thing is that you're not only ranking for that keyword of SEO, but you've got a bunch of secondary questions and keywords that other people are typing into Google that you could easily rank for and get more traffic from one article. So if we go into Google and we type in bird symbol, for example, you can see in the people also asked section that there are tons of questions we could get that people are typing into Google. That's how the information is there. But we just need to tap into their potential and answer them in our article. And you've got this section, you've also got this section. So there's a lot of keywords we could potentially rank for using this method. So what we're going to do is we'll take the topics like that. And if we go to ChatGPT, going to use a quick prompt. Now, I don't want to cover all of these questions in tons of detail. I just want like a quick, straight to the point answer. And that's why I make them around 40 words each, and I just format them with like a H3 or a H2 tag. So you can see this prompt, and basically what it does is it tells ChatGPT to write FAQs in H2, and then don't put any crappy HTML, H2s, H3, blah, blah, blah. Don't write any code, format them, and then just answer the question. Get straight to the point. Select ChatGPT 4, and then hit enter like that. What that's going to do is give us a list of nicely formatted FAQs that we can just paste into our content and then rank for way more keywords, right? So you can get more bang for your buck from the content you actually generate. Plus it increases the word count, increases the comprehensive depth of the article. So it's really good for SEO. And then another thing you could do is if you have access to Ahrefs, you can copy that, paste it into the Keyword Explorer, go to questions down here. And there are actually loads of relevant, similar questions you could take from Ahrefs using this list. You can easily just grab them like that, hit select, click copy, and you can actually see there's a long list of tons of different keywords you could go for. Now you could actually create an article around every single one of these keywords if you wanted to. I know Carl Roof does a similar method where he takes a primary keyword and creates an article, for example, like bird symbolism, and then he would create these mini articles that are 500 words each, and these are secondary keywords that you interlink from themselves to the primary keyword. And this is a reverse silo technique that helps bolster and boost up all the keywords you're trying to rank for. Now, the beauty of that as well is that these are such low competition keywords. No one's trying to go after them because they have such a low volume and they have such a low keyword difficulty, which means if you try and rank for them with an article that's like 500 words, not even SEO optimized, and you just paste it in and interlink the articles properly, then this works really well. Here's an example of a reverse silo setup for SEO. So you would have your homepage here, then you would have your target page, and you've got the supporting articles underneath. And you can see the direction of the links going in and out. So it goes from the homepage to the primary keyword target page here. And then you've got your questions. I know a lot of people using this reverse silo technique from Carl Roof. Works really well, and it will help boost your rankings. And the beauty of ChatGPT is it's so easy to create a supporting article now. You don't need to hire a writer. You can just copy and paste 500 words from ChatGPT and it'll probably rank. Now, if you want to take your ChatGPT prompts to the next level, you can actually use a Chrome extension called AI PRM. If you haven't heard of this, you can download it for free here. It's a Chrome extension you can just install really quickly. And then it gives you literally hundreds of crazy SEO related prompts that you can use with ChatGPT. Now, one of the most useful is this keyword cluster. So this clusters a list of keywords based on their semantic relevance. Now, if that sounds a bit complicated, basically what it's telling you all the related keywords to your topic in order of relevance so that you know exactly what types of content to create around your article. So let's say we have a website about bird watching equipment. We could type that in as our keyword here. And what it will do is give you a list of cluster topics that you could create keywords around. And you can see the cluster on the left here, the related keyword here, and whether it's a commercial or an informational keyword. So you can see most of these are commercial, which means you can generate money from each of those pages, what language it's in. And it's also broken it down into new topics we could explore, right? So for example, like bird watching tours, bird watching books, bird watching cameras, binoculars, etc. And the thing about this is if you publish loads of content around a very similar topic, then this builds up your topical authority. And the more topical authority you have, the higher you're going to rank on Google, because Google basically sees you as the authority on this particular keyword, and therefore everything that you create is going to rank higher. You're going to get more traffic, and your site is just going to keep going up in authority. It's a really powerful way to signal to Google that you're the expert at everything you do. So thanks very much for watching. That is my video on ChatGPT prompts. If you want access to that, check out the ChatGPT course that's free in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be posting ChatGPT SEO tutorials 3 times a week, and you can watch along with my website case study of AI content to see how it ranks and if it gets hit or if the traffic just keeps going to the moon.